Dr. Feroz Khan now, will you talk about the impact of return migration in India? What is it going to mean for us? I gather that is your area of expertise.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for inviting me. And actually, thank you, JRFDT, for the invitation. And basically, I am talking about the impact of reverse migration, and remittances on child labor. How the reverse migration and shrinking of remittances will increase or will lead to the incidence of child labor in India. First, we have to see how grave is the situation. If we see that World Migration Report 2020, it says that 272 million people are migrant, out of which 17 millions are from India. And if we talk about Gulf itself, it has 8.8 million Indians. So if these people are on the urge of job loss, or they are on the urge to reduce, to shrink their remittances, which they are sending back to India, how it severely going to impact in India? As per as ILO estimation, there will be 25 million job losses will be there. World Bank says that in 2020, there will be 20% of reduction in remittances, and for India, it is 23%, which is as per the estimation that last year we had 64 billion US dollar, 83 billion US dollar, and it will be reduced down to 64 billion US dollar. So what will be the impact? Most of the remittances that are being used in the family, back home family, they are used to upkeep the family members and their requirement. But reduction in remittances will reduce the amount of investment they are going to put on education, particularly on children's education, because they are going to save money for their future prospects. In this situation where there are different type of opinion and there are lack of correct information, people are under the fear that this COVID issue, COVID may take more longer, and they have to save money for their essential commodities. So in this regard, they are going to save more in place of investment, and to save more, they are going to reduce their investment, particularly on education and other sectors. So if the other part is that if the migration, the reverse migration will take place, they are going to come back in India, and they are going to indulge themselves into self-help business or their home enterprises, just like agriculture and allied activity, or small retailing. These two sectors are also more prominent for entry of child labor. If we look that 2011 census said that 10.1 million children are working in India. It is 2011 census, but if we see that unorganized sector, in unorganized sector, there will be much more hype if we reduce the remittances, if the remittances will be shrink, and there will be reverse migration, and people will stop spending their money on education. So my basic argument, the core argument is that this COVID incidents actually going to widen the gap between the rich and poor. Rich people are going to have some facilities through internet or through digital technology. They are going to attend their classes or schooling or whatever extra skill they are going to earn. But what about the poor and marginalized people who themselves are daily wage earner, and what about their children if they are not going to go to school, despite the fact that government is going to make is already that free and compulsory education is there, but despite the fact all these facilities, children will be more into economic activity than gaining skills and gaining education. So it will widen the gap. That's it. Thank you.
Dr. Khan, I couldn't agree more with you, because, in fact, I think yesterday itself I saw this report, one of the Mojo reports by Barkha Dutt, that there was this host of children who have been forced to leave school because they do not have any access to any mobile device, any tablet or a mobile phone or something. These were children who used to be going to school earlier. So a large section of the children have been othered because they do not have access to any kind of internet. So yes, I am totally in agreement with you there. And I did also see reports and statistical data supporting that.